guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a bit of a different video today. This is something I've watched on YouTube quite a lot and something I've wanted to try and do myself, which is I want to start doing a couple of rebuilds here and there. So the first one I wanted to attempt is actually Wolves. Wolves, obviously a club a few seasons ago, they were deemed as like the best of the rest in the Premier League. They were around 7th, they were doing well. Here, so 7th, so 7th place finishes, went straight from promoted to back-to-back 7th. They've done really well when they first got promoted, and it's been sort of a decline since then. 13th, then 10th, and this season they've struggled quite a lot. So honestly, if we can get back to there, and maybe even push on further. As you can see here on the honours, 3 Premier Leagues. They've won the Premier League in 1954, 1958 and 1959. 4 FA Cups, 1893, 1908, 1949 and 1960. So the 1949 until like 1960 is like seemingly their golden years. So let's see if we can repeat some of that glories. They've got really good facilities, but financially they're not in a good place. So balance is currently minus 9 million already. I don't think it's going to go lower because we've got quite a big wage budget, which we're actually over at the minute, which isn't great. So I'm trying to shift a couple of people out, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Quite a lot of debt as well. Gift loan repayable on when he leaves, so we're not looking to pay that, but this one we are paying. So remaining 56 million. That one we are paying each month as well. So it's quite a bit of debt there. So I want to see if we can rebuild them, potentially get some youth players, but because of that large debt, I think what I may have to do, unfortunately, is sell to buy on here. Buy, improve, and potentially sell. But we'll see how that goes. Staff-wise, I've improved the staff because when you start the game, they have like 2 coaches, barely any scouts. They have 2 spaces here. So I'm trying to improve that. I've got 1 more scout coming in who should hopefully improve this. But it's looking alright so far in there. I'll just go through the business we've done. So I haven't done too much. I've got 2 players in. One which is Roberto Gallardini from Inter Milan. He was very cheap. He was only 3.5 million. Really good, well-rounded player. I want him to play in that middle for us. We've got a very little amount of depth in the middle. We got Nunez, Neves, Martinho and him. So, bit of poor depth there. The next player was Umar Solet from Salzburg. Again, really good player, but needed depth. He's a leading championship. I reckon he'll improve on that. But a centre-back, we had Kilman, Collins. It says Johnny, but I don't really believe that. And these 2, which are youngsters, they're not really that good. So we needed to improve there, and I feel like he's a really good player to bring in. On the outs, there's 1 player I've sold, which is Connor Ronan for 2.6 million. He's gone to Stuttgart. Wasn't really going to play for us. We have plenty of depth in the attack, so I figured just get rid of him. The other player I'm looking to try and sell is Totti. He's a centre-back, good championship player, but I'm hoping if I sell him for 1.9, I'll get his wages on that, and I can move all the wage budget, the transfer budget into the wages to try and balance that out, but we'll see how that goes. So that's the business we have done. Pre-season wise, we lost against our second 11 1-0. We beat SL Lobendorf 7-2. We beat FC Madrid 4-0. Stripfield 6-0. Gloucester 6-0 and Watford 1-0. This is what we're rocking with, the Gegen press, or Gegen press. I don't know why I keep saying Gegen. Gegen press, which is what obviously seems to be the meta in Football Manager. Our lineup doesn't look too bad. Obviously, Guedes, Neto, Jimenez, Nori, Kilman, Collins, Johnny, Sarr, Neves, Martinho. It's just depth-wise. We don't really have a lot of depth. So hopefully that's where I'll be. I will hopefully see if I can improve some, but it doesn't look. I haven't got the money to do so. So hopefully this lineup can boost us up the league. We can get some money, maybe even get a European run, and obviously look to then improve the lineup. But this is what we're sort of going with. Let's look at our best 11, because I don't even think we've improved that. Yeah, so Johnny, Kilman, Cody, who's out on loan. Can't recall him, which is a shame, but I'm hoping. Optional free. So he's valued at 35 to 42. an optional 4.5. Do you know what I may do? Mid-season, I'm going to offer him a new deal just to see if I can keep him, because I think he'll be a really good player for us here, and I want to keep him. I don't want that going, so we'll see what we can do there. But this is what they reckon is our best 11. Jimenez, Traore, Guedes, Nunes, Martinho, Neves, Kilman, Cody, Johnny, Tomato, Sarr. So that's what I think is our best 11. Let's simulate now the first season, and we'll get on and see how our assistant manager has done. And welcome back to the end of season. This is how we are looking. I've just looked and seen this. Martinho is obviously leaving us on a free. It's quite disappointing, but he's on 100k. It's good to get that off the wage bill, I guess. But attribute-wise, not quite happy with that. But either way, ignore that for now. Looking at this, we finished 8th for the season. So 8th in the league, just off the Europa Conference League spots. Really good. And knocked out in the quarter-final by Man United. Knocked out in the second round of the Carabao Cup by Newcastle. So overall, I'd say that's a really good first season. Really promising. Let's hope second season we can try and push on. Perhaps get Europa Conference League, maybe even Europa. But I'm very happy with that. I was expecting mid-table, as the board were, around 10th, 11th, maybe 12th at a push. Around that spot. So 8th, I'm happy. Really happy with that. It's a good start to the rebuild. So let's look at the individual performances. Up top we had Raul Jimenez with 28 goals. Back to good form. Back to his best. Obviously only got 6 last season, 10 the season before. That's actually his best goal scoring season. Okay, so he's done really well for us there. Traore with 11 and 9 assists. And Kilman with 10 goals from centre back. Okay, so he's done really well. The big 6'4" centre back. Assist wise, Neves, Neto, and Traore there. Guedes had an okay season, but not really as amazing as I'd expect. Average rating wise, Traore was top. Yerson was there. Jimenez and Neves. Okay. Looking at the overall league, there's some good teams there relegated. Southampton, Brighton, so maybe we can look into them for signings. But that's a really good end of season. Still got Man United versus Man City in the Cup. So maybe as a result of that we could get Europe. So could end up with Europe, but we'll have to wait and see with that. I'll come back and let you know if we have. But going into the competitions here, going into the scores. Start the season not so hot. 3-0 win against Southampton there. Had a big 6-2 against Newcastle. Jimenez with a hat-trick. 3-0 against Man City, a really big win there. Jimenez, Kilman, Traore. 5-1 against Leicester. Kilman with 2, Jimenez with 2, and Nathan Collins. So centre-backs getting 3. 4 against Peterborough. 4-0 against Southampton. 2-2 against Liverpool. 6-1 against Leicester, another big result. 4 for Jimenez in that one. Traore and Robert Galdini. A 5-0 smashing to Man City. Haaland with 4 and Foden with 1. And then Leicester with a fantastic another one, 5-1. Kilman, is that 4 goals? 4 goals in that game. Incredible. End of season, really good run there. With some really good results in there. So this is how we seem to have lined up season 1. Our most common lineup, I think, is Nunes. Seems like he started a lot in centre mids. Sarr. Johnny seems like he's got Semedo, Neves, Martinho, Kilman, Traore. So it looks like he started a lot, so we may need to look to replace him. So I think that'll be our next sort of aim. But we'll see how we go in the transfer market, see how our budgets are set. Doesn't look like they've been set yet, I'm guessing because of the FA Cup, to see if we can perhaps get Europa. I'll come back at the beginning of, after we've done our transfer window, just to see how we got on.